Everyone came to see the best living statue, but nobody expected the quietest champion to have 4 paws. Bright afternoon sunlight fills the stone plaza as the village festival of living statues finally begins. Timmy Tinker arrives wearing a handmade hero costume, complete with a cape, painted armor, and a determined expression. Chubby Max follows in an explorer outfit with oversized pockets, plastic binoculars, and a hat that is almost too large for his head. Buddy Popcorn receives a light coat of safe gray powder and sits proudly beside them, looking more serious than anyone expects. The rules are simple. Remain completely still while the judges walk through the square searching for even the smallest movement. Timmy climbs onto a round platform and raises one arm like a fearless hero guarding the village. Max takes a position nearby, chest lifted and binoculars held toward an imaginary distant mountain. Buddy sits with perfect posture, his tail resting neatly around his paws. For the first few minutes, the challenge seems easy. The crowd whispers, children point at the costumes, and golden sunlight stretches across the rows of frozen contestants. Then the judges begin moving closer. Timmy keeps his body still, but his eyes follow every step. Max holds his breath whenever someone approaches, worried that even a tiny wobble will ruin his explorer pose. Buddy barely reacts. The judges circle him twice, impressed by how completely the little dog seems to have become stone. The crowd decides to make the challenge harder. Someone pulls a funny face at Timmy. Another visitor waves a brightly colored ribbon near Max. A group of children tries to make Buddy look toward them. Timmy refuses to smile. Max fights the urge to laugh. Buddy remains still. Then the afternoon breeze carries a tiny feather across the plaza. It floats lazily above the platforms before landing close to Max's nose. Max's eyes widen. The feather moves again, brushing the edge of his face. He tries desperately not to react. Timmy sees the struggle and almost loses his own pose from amusement. The feather lifts into the air once more and drifts toward Timmy. Now he must fight the same itchy distraction while holding his heroic position. Nearby, Buddy faces an even greater temptation. A wandering cat appears at the edge of the plaza and slowly walks between the stalls. Buddy notices immediately. His ears twitch once, but the rest of his body remains perfectly frozen. Timmy is amazed. Max is too focused on the feather to notice. The judges continue down the row as the entire plaza becomes quiet with anticipation. Then Max can no longer resist. A huge sneeze explodes from his nose. His explorer hat flies high into the air. The sudden movement startles the contestant beside him, who bumps another statue, beginning a ridiculous chain reaction. One person drops a prop shield, another turns to avoid it. A third loses balance and steps off the platform. Within seconds, half the row is moving, laughing, and trying to recover their poses. Timmy finally lowers his arm, convinced the contest must be over. Max catches his hat and gives the crowd an embarrassed wave. But in the middle of all the chaos, Buddy Popcorn has not moved. The hat lands nearby. People shout. The cat crosses the square again. Buddy still sits like a perfect stone figure. The judges stop beside him and begin laughing in disbelief. When the final bell rings, Buddy is the last contestant still holding the original pose. The crowd erupts into cheers while Buddy stays quiet and very still. Timmy looks at the little dog and realizes that the most disciplined competitor was the one nobody expected to take the contest seriously. Max bows dramatically to the new champion, still holding his enormous explorer hat. Buddy finally stands, shakes the gray powder from his fur, and accepts the attention with a happy wag. As evening approaches, the festival ends, and the 3 friends begin the walk back toward the cottage. Timmy jokes that his heroic concentration was defeated by one feather. Max admits that the sneeze was impossible to stop, although he insists the flying hat made the performance more memorable. Buddy trots between them, completely satisfied with his surprising victory. Inside the cottage, the excitement gives way to a quiet evening. Max pours a cool drink while Timmy wipes the wooden table and puts away the pieces of his costume. The hearth glows softly as Buddy rests near the window, watching moonlight spread across the floor. Timmy thinks back to the contest and understands why Buddy succeeded. The dog was not trying to impress the judges or worry about the crowd. He simply focused on the task in front of him and stayed there. Max laughs, but the lesson feels true. Sometimes the hardest challenge is not doing more. It is remaining steady while distractions, pressure, and unexpected problems move all around you. Timmy hangs a paper lantern, Max returns the bowls to the shelf, and Buddy slowly falls asleep beside the warm kitchen wall. By midnight, the cottage is silent. The festival medal rests nearby as a funny reminder that patience can appear in the most unexpected competitor. Under the stars, Timmy and Max head to the loft, still smiling about the afternoon when a feather defeated two determined humans, while one small dog became the calmest statue in the entire village.